Today we're looking at another Adidas model that is heavily discounted now. It's definitely worth grabbing because this one is really nice. Hey guys, welcome back to our Kicks Business channel, and today we're looking at the Adidas 4D Forward 2. This is a $200 model that was just recently reduced significantly, and I was able to grab this one for $80. And I think for $80 is definitely worth spending your money because of how unique the 4D is. And Adidas are continuously trying to push these models out with a lot of different versions, with combinations between the 4D and the foam, between the 4D and Boost and stuff like that. But I really like these ones because I like to keep an eye on the evolution of the 4D. If you guys seen my previous models that I've reviewed, have several of those, and the print on the 4D of the midsole is different between all of them. And now I see that this one is different as well. And it seems like they made it a little bit softer. The last couple of versions were pretty firm. I mentioned that in my videos. Unless you're really running and striking that midsole all the time, it's hard to get it soft. And for day-to-day use, it's a bit, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but not what would you expect from Adidas. Normally, you know, with the boost and the bounce and all that stuff, you know, that's a lot of comfort and a lot of bounciness. Where with the 4D, we have a little bit more support. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you the other negative, obviously, is the usability. I mentioned it before many times. With this kind of midsole, don't expect to use the shoe in the rain or dirty environment or sand or anything. Don't go to the beach with these. You're never going to be able to clean the sand out of the grooves over here, and probably eventually that's going to fill up with some gunk. And once the moisture and the liquid from the road or whatever, the rain stays inside, it's going to start creating mold and stuff like that. So you want to avoid all that stuff and make sure you wear these when it's dry, warm. Unless you really want to ruin them to the ground as fast as possible, don't do it to yourself. Just wear them in good conditions. Now, being a higher level model, much more expensive than most, $200, which, by the way, the prices are going down because initially when the 4D was announced by Adidas, and I think the very first model costed something like $350, which was crazy amount of money. But now I guess the technology is getting more and more prominent, more affordable, so the price is down to $200, which I still think is too much, but once you get them on the sale, like I said, $80, they make sense. Coming in with actual shoe tree, that it's made of carton, not just stuffed paper, like most of the other ones. And this one, the upper is entirely fabric. There's no separation, there's no tone. We have the knitted fabric all connecting together. Tiny Adidas logo on the proverbial tone, and these ones are produced in July of last year, again a year ago, finally on sale, so we can grab them. I really like this clean colorway because it's like a, you know, super classic white with black stripes, a little bit off-white on the midsole, but there's several different other colorways they produced. I personally think this is probably the nicest looking, but I guess to each their own. On the back, where the ducktail is, what I refer to this Adidas design decision is a 4D. Forward, of course, the model name. The laces are nothing unusual, nothing special, and honestly, if you just wear them casually, you don't even have to lace them because this knitted upper and all one booty kind of hugs your foot perfectly, and there's nothing to really worry about. And if we look at the insoles, the insoles are actually one of my favorite part over here because they are those Polylite insoles that I mentioned before. They're kind of unusual, but also very anatomically correct. They have a tiny bit of an arch support, but they can be easily pulled out and cleaned, refreshed, washed, all that stuff, and can be used with other shoes as well. We have a big 4D Forward logo right on top of it, and the whole top of the insole is kind of like from those towel socks from back in the day, kind of 80s and 90s. The outsole here is the Continental rubber outsole, which again, you would expect that for a higher and more expensive level model from Adidas. There's no separation anywhere. The entire outsole is Continental rubber, which makes sense because you don't want anything going through the outsole onto the midsole, which again is going to be impossible to clean. Now, is a 4D or 4D model like this is not the lightest. There's a lot more lighter models out there. So strictly, this is for me a model for a casual wear. I wouldn't personally go running with them. I would definitely wear them casually. and enjoy them the way they are. The last lace loop over here is plastic, and this is probably the only weak spot for me because over time, you know, that plastic is gonna age poorly and eventually it's gonna break off. But considering that this whole shoe doesn't really need to have laces, especially if you're wearing it casually, you're not gonna have any problems. Even if that breaks off over time, you can still continue to wear them. Interesting, the whole shoe is wrapped individually. Left and right shoe are wrapped very meticulously. For some reason, there are no genuine materials used over here, so there'll be no leakage of any kind between, or bleeding of any kind between those materials. So I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever, makes it I guess looking more luxurious. We have Adidas 3 stripes logo right on the toe lip in the front, and that's about it. Most of the design is very classic and very familiar from like previous years. A combination in the forefoot with the knitted fabric and some of that mesh that it's a little bit more enforced. I really like what they did with this shoe, and again, for $80, I think this one is exceptionally good buy. And those of you that are curious about the 4D system and how this 4D printing feels on feet, go ahead and grab a pair. I think for $80, you're not gonna break the bank and you're gonna enjoy this shoe a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos coming very, very soon. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.